You only need sales if you suck at marketing. All sales was phone and belly to belly and kind of referral connections and interpersonal relationships. And now, as the world has radically gone digital in the last 20 something years, it's added a whole new component to what that means. You got to have not just the people, but the platform to do it the way the customer wants.
Today on the show, I'm happy to have Alec Hanson. He's a CMO of loanDepot. So, Alec, I know this is a pretty large company you're running marketing for here. What are some numbers or some info about it for people who don't already know about loanDepot?
Yeah, man. Great. Thanks for having me, Chad. This is fun, dude. I really appreciate the chance to rap about this. loanDepot's been a top 5 national lender since its inception. They rocketed on the scene, founded in 2010, over 4,000 employees, 270 branch locations, thousands of loan officers. It's an incredible organization with incredible people really doing good work.
And I know you're big on referral and relationship-based selling. And I know we're going to dig into how you do that today, so our listeners can get a feel for what they should be doing in their businesses.
Yeah, I came up through the sales side of of the industry. And in the early 2000s, when we didn't have all of the human knowledge in our pocket, all sales was phone and belly to belly and kind of referral connections and interpersonal relationships. And that's what it was. And now, as the world has radically gone digital in the last 20 something years, it's added a whole new component to what that means. But I hope we get into it, but I would argue it's still the same game, just the place that we're playing it now is different.
I agree with you completely. I think it is. So in the current environment, how do you we're very tech, there's a lot of tech now, right? We do video calls where our sales happen virtually. How do you
Yeah.
still maintain those relationships, build that strength so that people give you referrals?
I think it comes down to how relationships are formed in general. Like how do you get into relationship with anything, a person, a thing, et cetera? And it really starts with time, intention, and consistency. So if we want to use the basic example of human relationships, right? If you want to be in a relationship with a person, then you're going to call them, you're going to talk to them, you're going to spend time with them, you're going to go out and hang out together. Like you're going to seek time and give attention to this person. And so through that, relationships happen, meaning you get to know the person, you get to know what they care about, what they like, what they don't like. And then you decide in that process, is this person worth being in relationship with, or what level is this person? Am I getting married, or are we just going to hang out every month and have drinks? That's how this whole world works. So when you get into sales or relationship-based sales, you realize that like the same equation still holds true. If I want to sell you something, Chad, I got to get to know you first, and you have to get to know me. And then we can decide if my product or my service starts to fit what you need. I think as consumers today, we're sick of it. We're sick of cold solicitations. We're sick of cold calls. We're sick of people trying to get in our business that don't care about us or seek to know us at all. But we're delighted when stuff seems to know what we want, when stuff seems to serve up to us things that are exactly what we were thinking, when people get to know us first before pitching us a product. And so I think that it's part of human nature as we've evolved through marketing and being solicited so much. But I think the relationship part of this world is going to continue to dominate in most major industries.
Yeah, so buy me a drink first, right?
Yeah, it's harder when you sell a commodity like a shoe. I'm selling you a shoe. Nike's going to make me want to wear the shoe. But if I have to sell you a service, like I'm going to wash your car, or I'm going to clean your house, or I'm going to do your taxes, or I'm going to plan for your financial future, or I'm going to write your will, or I'm going to give you a mortgage for the next 30 years. Now it's okay. I need a little more intimacy. I got to know that the person I'm letting in to my financial wherewithal has some things I can trust about them. And that's where the relationship part starts to really deepen and become more powerful.
What's one of the ways you guys do that with loanDepot?
Our founder and our chairman of the board, Anthony Shea, had a comment that I've never forgotten when I first started working here, which was, you have to serve customers the way they want to be served. And that's a unique concept in some regard, because you're like, okay, because most things force you to come down their sales path. I want to watch a movie. We show it here. You have to come here. And then you have to buy a ticket and you have to come here. And then all of a sudden now you can just stream it at home. And people are like, I think I'm going to do this. This sounds better. And so most businesses are like, you have to do it our way in order to get what you want. But the companies that figure out how to serve customers they want to be served are going to win long-term. So what do I mean by that? We have 270 branch locations across the country, meaning if you want to come in and sit down with a mortgage person and you want to bring your stack of your tax returns and your pay stub, and you want to walk this through with somebody local that you can look in the face, we can serve you that way. If you just want a pure digital experience, look, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to do this on my phone. I'm going to upload my bank statements. I'm going to take a picture of this and send it in, get me done. You can do it that way. So those two extremes are part of what loanDepot does really is we'll meet you in the street and then we'll meet you online, and we'll do both really well. And that way, as a customer, you can get the service you're looking for the way you want to be served. And not every mortgage company can do that. A lot of them force you down a path, which is if you want to work with us, you got to do it this way. And that's a unique advantage for us.
Yeah, if you truly care about your customer, you try to solve their real needs and present it in a way they're comfortable with.
100%. And now as we've come through COVID and we've went whatever the digital world did to everybody, now you also have to match that with your infrastructure. Meaning you could say, look, I can meet you down the street, or I can do this on the phone, or I can do this on chat. And then you send me a loan application process from the 1980s that I can't do digitally. And it's now, I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. So you got to have not just the people, but the platform to do it the way the customer wants.
Is that a lot of what you guys have developed? A good platform for users?
Yeah, it's one of those things where think about Amazon for a minute, right? Amazon did an amazing job building a platform that's the tier best in the world. And us as consumers, we can push a button and something shows up same day. And we don't care how the tech needs to work to get that to show up. We don't care. We just know it shows up. And so we spent, in about 8-9 years ago, we spent $100 million on our own technology, because most mortgage companies, they rent technology. So it's not bad. It's just like, hey, we're just going to go to these big companies and we're going to rent their technology and we're going to use it and we're going to serve our customers. loanDepot was like, no, that's not going to give us optionality. It's not going to create differentiation. We're going to build our own platform, which takes tons of guts to do and a lot of risk. You have to be really, willing to step into something. But now 8 years later, our technology still is industry dominant. Now you as the customer may not experience it the same way, because to you, that was easy. That's what I wanted. But trust me, the salespeople that are helping you, their lives are 1,000 times better and their efficiency is 1,000 times better. And that's what makes that whole experience for you at the end of the day 1,000 times better.
How long have you now been running as the CMO of loanDepot?
It's funny. I always envisioned myself as a sales guy, and I was running sales for the last 20 years. And inside of sales, though, back to my old days of running around the streets, trying to find this referral business, there's a deep aspect of marketing engaged in that process, because marketing often can be construed as the process to get the opportunity to do a sale is the marketing aspect. So they're really two sides of the same coin. In fact, Gary Vee the other day was talking about how you only need sales if you suck at marketing. And I thought that was a hilarious line. I did not expect to get tapped and asked to come into this role. Obviously I've worked at loanDepot for 13 years. I love this company. I love the people. So, and I know everything. I live and breathe the whole process. But like I said, 6 years ago, I got really passionate about the digital side of referral-based relationships or sales, as it was emerging. And so I put a lot of effort into kind of understanding personal branding and digital marketing and a lot of things that eventually got me tapped to come in to be the CMO. So it's only been a year and a half-ish in this role. And the team, we've accomplished a ton of amazing things in that time. But I think I'm a kind of a unicorn in the space because I have such a strong sales and revenue generating background and it's unique in mortgage. So I think it gives us a little bit of an advantage over our competition, because a lot of CMOs in the mortgage space have never sold a loan in the street. They actually don't know what it's like to serve a customer. They can empathize, they can try, but they've never done it. And I've done it at some of the highest levels. And so to me, it's a superpower that other people just don't have.
And Alec, if any of our listeners wanted to reach out to loanDepot, get in touch, learn more, or get in touch with you, how could they do so?
So Google, it's amazing. Obviously, we're super active on every social platform. So if that's your cup of tea, hang out with us there. Obviously, you can go to our website, you can call us, all that fun stuff. You can go to our branch down the street from you, but do what works best for you. Find out how do you prefer to communicate? How do you want to hang out? And then use those vehicles to find us, and we'll be there.
Make sure to check out loanDepot, everybody. And thank you, Alec, for coming on the show, and everyone for listening to another episode of Failing to Success. If you like the show, make sure to subscribe. I'm your host, Chad Galecki, and we'll see you next time.